Hello, everyone, and welcome to my channel. Of course, I'm Lorena Creel, and this is the Resort Recon Live podcast. And what we do on this podcast is we kind of go through the theme park news. We answer, your theme park questions about stuff that's going on, and kind of like the stuff that I get a chance to answer that I can't really answer while I'm out there, out and about in the parks and everything, and kind of, just get together and chat when I don't have to dodge a bunch of people in the park. So welcome. So glad you're here. And if you're watching this on a replay, thanks for watching this on the replay. We're so love to have you here. So I will bring Erica in a little bit. I know it's like dinner time. Weird word, where she is. So I really want to. She's going to give me the heads up when I bring her in. I know sometimes I've been like on panels and I'm like, I eat dinner. Like, okay, I will bring in when you're ready. So she'll give me the heads up in the back to bring her in. There's nothing worse than getting put on screen and you're like got something halfway, in your mouth or so. Well, let's see who we have here in the chat. We have got Tom F. Hello, says happy Saturday, y'all. Well, happy Saturday indeed to you. So very glad that you're hanging out here with us. I hope you and your wife are doing well. Let's see. We have got Snortapoopas Cuber, one of my amazing mods. Says hello, humans and other critters. But good to see you. And let's say, of course, we got Erica waving at everybody earlier. She's another addition to my mod squad. Love you guys. I could not do my live streams without you guys. And let's see, Sunset Harbor Entertainment is in the chat. Well, hello, and good to see you. Good to see you. We have also got Coach Dragon. Good to see you. Coach Dragon says, good Saturday, all. Good Saturday morning, all. Good to see you. And we've got Goofar35, of course. It says, hey there. Well, hey there and hello. We have got the mum. I love saying that. The mum says, afternoon, Lorena. Well, afternoon to you too. Glad to have you here. I love cat pictures, so I love your avatar. Professor X is taking a nap. I just look. He's under here. The funny thing is about Professor X is he is very particular about where he wants to sit. If I'm streaming for too long, he's not clawing on the gaming chair. He knows that's a no, but it's kind of like pay attention to me. No, I don't want to sit down there. Got him a big, huge, comfy like cat bed, like really big. It looks like a tuna can. He would not sit in it. I got a big, huge floor pillow over there. Sits his butt on that. But now, since I put it under my desk, that's where he is right now, passed out. So, hey, Erica, how you doing? Oh, wait, for some reason you're muted.
Okay, that helps.
There we go. There we go.
It's been one of those really busy Saturdays.
No worries. How you doing?
Good. Sorry. Gosh, Halloweening all day today. Getting
Oh my goodness.
prepared for Halloween with candy shopping. Oh, and my thing finally came in.
I see. Hold on. I got to blow you up. Mine is being cleaned right now. Yes, that is the Haunted Mansion Starbucks tumbler. That sucker is so hard to get a hold of. I think I know one more place to get a hold of one. So hopefully I'll find that out. Of course, I'm going to be there Monday, so I'm going to take you guys to where I think they have them.
I have an ice iced caramel macchiato in this thing from
Oh, nice.
not even from Starbucks because the line was too long.
Mm.
Dunkin'.
Well, folks, if you think that Haunted Mansion tumbler is awesome, a rumor has it there's going to be a Nightmare Before Christmas Starbucks tumbler. That, yes. Yeah, we
Yeah.
don't get a break.
No.
We don't get a break. So I'm gonna blame Geeky Sparkles from over there on Clownfish TV for putting that one on my radar. I'm just like, there's too much stuff. There's just too much stuff I want. Hey, Lorena, get better. Lorena better get the strong coffee. Feels like something strong's called for when you're going over Disney Resort vacation.
Yes, dude. And the last Disney vacation we planned was June of 2023 for Christian's high school graduation. I asked him, "What do you want to do? Where do you want to go? Just
Mm-hmm.
anything you want." Vacation. And I gave this kid like anywhere in the world,
Mm-hmm.
and he's like, "I want to go home. I want to go see family, and I want to Disney World." I was like, "Okay." Okay. He said, "You just want to go home. You want to see, my grandparents." I said, "All right." So then I asked him, "Where do you want to go? You want Universal? You want to do Disney? And are you sure? Are you sure?" Contemporary. I mean, without even hesitation, I was like,
Ooh.
yeah, that's exactly what I went, "Okay."
Like,
Okay.
you sure you don't want to do art of animation? You sure you don't want to do like maybe the French Quarter, or
I said, "All right." I mean,
I'll hold my nose and say, hey, maybe even Coronado Springs, but
it was early in the school year. I knew we were going to be financing it, and I knew they did payments. So I was like, "You're in luck, child." I'm like, but this is only happening once.
I hear you. It's like one and like done, and it's just it's wonderful to see. It's never been my favorite like monorail resort. For me, it's always the Polynesian, even though they have screwed it
Mhm.
up in so many freaking ways. It's like the
Yeah.
Polynesian or Grand Floridian. It's like with the Contemporary, I like to visit,
Yeah.
but not stay there. I'm just like, I don't know, it's just something about it. It just
It was his childhood thing. He's like, ever since he was a
Mhm.
kid, he always wanted he was just fascinated with the monorail going through
That is
the
so
hotel. And as
cool.
a little boy, and he loved anything with wheels, cars, trains, anything that spun was like his
Mhm.
thing. And so I guess he just held on to that whole life, and he wanted to fulfill a dream. And I was like, "All right, fine." And
Right. Here we go. I
and
totally
we
get
did.
that.
And yeah, and we're still paying that off, by the way. It's been like 2 years. Less. I dead
I
off.
know. I know. I mean, speaking of like, because with trips, I would always literally, I had a savings account that was literally earmarked Disney. And
Mm,
I used to, back in the day before it got completely crazy, I was on like a Disney budget board where we would all get together and like give out tips and strategies for like budgeting, and our theme was like a
mm,
dollar saved is a dollar for Disney. So we would find bargains and stuff to do, and like, yeah, you go to Five Below and you get this haul of
yeah.
Disney merchandise that you can bring so you don't have to pay for
Mhm.
it when you get there. And that was like the whole thing. We're just like, yeah, I got my tax return. I got this. I got an unexpected bonus. And like, hey, for those of you who get
Ugh,
paid every other week,
yeah.
remember you're going to get 2 bonus pay periods. So you need to set that aside
Yeah,
for
no, that was us because, Raph does these, like, shifts where he'll work 12 hours, 7 days a week, and then he'll get the following week off, but if he's doing, like, the night shift, he gets night differential pay, so we get a really
Mm-hmm.
nice we get that extra cushion. So that particular year, he was working those extra shifts, so we'd have padding going into town, and then usually he gets his, like, work evaluations, and they'll do like an award package, I don't know, award package, but like a bonus. The problem is that bonus and you want it to hit in August, and it's like, I need it in June.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, it paid off for the airline tickets, when it finally hit. So
Yeah. Yeah, it's one of those things. Trying to save for the trips. Hey, Little Mouse 27, I see you. I see you. It says, hey. I see Melissa Bell. I see you. Hello. It says, hi everyone. Tanya Marshall, I see you. It says, happy Saturday to everyone. And hey, Angela, and thank you so very much for being here. Says Lorena Creel, you look beautiful today. Well, thank you so much. And who's Professor's X? Yeah, you have a cat. What kind of cat is he? Yes, well, Professor X, number one, he is a rescue. All of my cats have been rescues. We had a rare, I always have to tell the story. We had a very rare, like sub-zero December. Like it was really, 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 really cold. And apparently Professor X, his siblings and his mother were put out in a cardboard box in freezing temperatures. Yes. And this lady was jogging and happened to find the box, find the kittens, find the mother, and called the rescue group. Because she's like, I have these kittens, I have this cat. It's obviously she just had this litter of kittens. I can't take care of them. Can you guys take care of them? So they did. Unfortunately, some of them got sick. All of them recovered, but Professor X, his eye has like a little like ulcer on it. It does not affect his vision because dude just like slaughters everything. But he had this little scar. So on his eye. So I name all my cats after X-Men characters. So he's Professor X, and he is a Bengal, which I did not know what that breed was. All I knew is he was extremely smart. He could jump really, really high, and he was really, really hyper.
Aren't
So I'm like,
Bengals money?
are they what? Sorry.
Bengal cats, aren't they worth money? Like I've
I
heard.
I
I was
don't
thinking of
know.
another breed.
I don't know. I know it's like he has a tabby pattern, but his behavior, I'm like, I know tabby cats, and this is not a tabby cat type of behavior. It's like when I had my one cat, Logan, before he passed away. Turns out he was super intelligent. He was a Russian blue. So I get this cat, and I'm just like, he's not he's a tabby pattern, but he doesn't act like a tabby. I said, I don't think you understand. A Bengal is like the Jack Russell Terriers of the cat. He was everywhere. I mean, every freaking where. But yes, that's what he is. He is a Bengal, and he's very, very, very spoiled, and we love spoiling him to death. Yeah, although he's picky about where he wants to sleep. Of course, yeah. Now he's down
I
there.
would be too. My dog was very picky about where she slept. That was my fault because I taught her very well on how to pick a nice soft spot.
Mm-hmm. I bought like a nice, soft, big, huge, soft floor pillow that I got
Yeah.
from Marshall's. I'm like, this is great. Soon as I brought that thing in the house, oh yeah, guess what? It's mine. It's
Yeah.
mine now. I'm gonna
Sophie
sit
was
on
like
it.
that. She loved bed. Shopping for beds, a woman shopping for shoes. She loved.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So sometimes, most of the time, if you see me looking down like this, it's because he's trying to get my attention. He doesn't want to sit there. He just wants to get my attention, which is better than him where I used to live. And I had like like where I had my TV, and it was like on a bench, and he liked to sit up there because he could feel the heat from the TV and would proceed to lick
Yeah.
himself while I'm on a stream. So I would much rather have him under there than doing that. My girl Black Cat, I had to put her down a couple years ago. She would not do that. She would just sit there and look pretty because she was all black and gorgeous and won't freaking wear anyway. Cat tips, but that's pretty much it. Love my cats. They're spoiled. They're wonderful. They're wonderful. Support rescue groups for sure. I need a Disney intervention. Hey Ponto, no, I'm all right. I'm all right. I just how would I put it? I embrace the pixie dust cloud and then I blow it out. That's what I do. It's like, okay. And then, my brain has a come to Jesus meeting and it's like, okay, can you walk away from this? Go walk away. And if you come back, we'll discuss it with the bank account. Hey, Ruby Hoof, thank you for gifting that one Lorraine Creole membership. I sure do appreciate that, my dear. Thank you so, 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 so very much for doing that. Sharing these memberships is awesome. You guys get to, we have live streams, we got movie club, the special live streams, videos, stuff like that. Pictures, especially pictures of the lights on tour that I had of some of the haunted houses at Halloween Horror Nights. So you get to see a couple pictures. I showed you guys of the Ghostbusters Frozen Empire house. So make sure you thank Ruby Hugh for doing that. Hey, Step Brett, how you doing? Good seeing you, my dear. Good seeing you. Good seeing you. We're going to have that Fall Guy extended cut watch party later on this month. So you got to be in the chat for that, my dear. Gotta be. Do I name any of my cats after X-Men villains? I haven't run into a Magneto personality yet. When I do, I will call him Magneto. But yes, Professor X, he seemed to just, I don't know, he just had this weird persona, about him. And of course, Professor X was paralyzed. So I said, that happened to you. Okay, I'm going to call you Professor X. I'll call you Professor X. Let's see. I think I got everyone. Hey, Tom says, oh, what do we owe? Well, we're going to talk about that a little bit further on into the stream. So we've got two main topics that we're talking about after I show you guys something that's really, 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 really funny. And let's see. Yeah. So we're talking about, we'll say there's some people who think that theme park vloggers do not owe you anything, including common courtesy. So we're going to talk about that. And we're also going to talk about how you have some people just abso-freaking-lutely why we can't have nice things, because people can't control their kids, and it's just an increasing amount of entitlement for a lot of reasons. But we're going to talk about that too. Lorena, friend, I'm a watcher of Clownfish TV. I know you love them too. I do. Stoked when Geeky mentioned you in one of your episodes this week. So cool. Oh, you have to tell me which episode. Tell me which episode. I love those. I love those guys. And I blame Camera Girl for turning me on to them, because she's an art student. She loves watching their videos when they talk about art stuff and everything. And that's kind of how that went from there. So we have got 24 of you folks in here watching. Thank you so, so, so very much for being here. Real quick, wanted to show you, this is me. I went to the Halloween Horror Nights Lights On tour of the haunted houses. So I went on the sixth house tour. And it was abso-freaking-lutely amazing. So, so amazing. Hey, Scott. So amazing that I will be doing a live stream where we're actually going to go through, because I was allowed to take pictures, no video. I was allowed to take pictures. So for those of you who are worried, no, these are pictures that Universal and the tour guide allowed me to take of the certain houses. So I can tell you guys about that tour, what I found out about the haunted houses, the storylines, everything, especially for some of you folks who are a little skittish about going to Halloween Horror Night. So that's going to be scheduled at a later date. Yet another yet yet another thumbnail request I have to send CJ, but yes, we will definitely be talking about that. Let's see. I see you, Scott. I see you, Dylan. Little Queen, big door. Yeah, this door, I can't even, I'm going to save it for the stream, but this house is every bit as scary as people talk about. And if you've watched the films, which I have, just from when you enter the haunted house, I'm like, already this is crazy. So just this door, just the scale of this door, I'm 5'6". Okay, so this should let you know just the level of realism that they go for in here. But yes, this is from the VIP tour, which is it's a separate charge, but honestly, it really is worth it. So going to be talking about that one at a later date.
So the lights are on, and you can see behind the scenes and how everything's decorated.
So you walk through, and they tell you about the storyline. And oh, there's Ron. Hang on, finally see him. Hey, how you doing?
I'm all right. I feel like on my end, my StreamYard is really glitchy. I don't know what's going on with it, but yeah.
They're probably pushing an update. don't want to tell us.
That does happen in the background all the time.
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah, I'm sorry if I'm a sweaty mess. I just finished my workout. I've had a smashed Saturday morning. It's been busier than I would have expected, but here we are.
Well, you're ahead of me on that one. So just showing people real quick a picture from my lights on tour.
It does look like Alice in Wonderland. I was just going to say the same thing.
It does. A door for giants, or did you shrink like Alice in Wonderland? You don't shrink. You don't shrink. But it gives you just this larger than life impression of this door. And I want to say, if you've ever watched the Insidious series, which frankly it's really good, the oh my gosh, I'm blanking on the little boy's, but the main character's name. But when he was a little boy, it's like he was in a coma, and he like went to the further and came back, but he would always do this astral projection, and in all the pictures of the red door, it was larger than he was. So it's kind of like how a child would do the would depict the red door, and you actually will see a banner or a replica of the art where he shows that, like where he went. So it's so it's man, it's really freaking awesome. Really freaking awesome. Yeah, without the horror movie context, the size of that door looks like it's from Alice in Wonderland, but also from like a kid's point of view, where things are so much like larger than life. That is the impression that you get when you go through there. So that was probably on.
Isn't that just a regular door from Shaq's house?
Shaq's because he's so tall. Yeah, so that was really cool. So yeah, I will be doing a live stream probably later on this month with all of the pictures and all the context from this behind the scenes tour. Highly recommend it. I think it cost me about $200, but for like 6 hours, 6 hours total private tour, and you get to see all kinds of stuff. So
the behind the scenes, get inspiration. That's better than Pinterest.
Oh yeah. lots of inspiration.
I'd be like, how can I do that? Like, my house, my front yard, my backyard.
Like, I need to do that. And oh, that illusion, I gotta freaking try that. That's just absolutely awesome. I need to, All right, so let's go to our first topic of the show. 24 of you folks in here watching. I sure do appreciate it. Coming to us from Pirates and Princesses. Guests, please stop destroying sets and props at the park. This time, the Muppets Lab table had to be removed. And of course, this is written by Cambria Pratt, aka Geeky Sparkles, over at Clownfish TV. So if you're like, well, what are they talking about? Well, last year at Food and Wine, and Ron will let me know. Did you do Food and Wine last year, Erica, at all?
What year was 2023? I don't think so. We left. Oh, we flew out like 4th of July. So I don't think we did.
Okay.
It was 2021 when we happened to be there on the first day of Food and Wine. No, 2022.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. The reason that I ask is because last year they had this really, really, really cool addition into the Odyssey Pavilion. They actually opened that up, and it was themed off of Muppets Lab. So it was like the scientific breakdown of these different wings. Like they had like the sweet wings, they had, like the savory wings, and then they had like the incredibly freaking hotter than hell wings. Literally, they were. And how, rather than drinking water, I had like the pickle shake that was like milk based in order to like cut the spice. So they had like different spices, like different wings, and kind of like a flow chart for the type of wings. But they had like all of this equipment, and I'm going to switch over here to Fantasyland so you can kind of see right here. So last year they had all this stuff up, sight gags, everything. It was so cool that they had. So this year they brought this little display here. And these were things that were kind of off to the side or higher up, but they had made this into a photo op. You know, those photo ops that they have at the parks where you can go there and you take your picture and all that stuff. Well, they had this working for one day, out there for one day. And people were just destroyed it.
So the props weren't like glued onto the table or anything? I mean, usually they're kind of hard to like move.
You would think so. You would think so. But like, here's an example of the photo op. Like, you'd sit here, you take your photo and like that. But reports have said that there were people and their kids were like pulling stuff off, because you know how destructive kids can be. If you don't think they can destroy something, you're kind of under.
Oh yeah, they can.
You know how it is. It's just like nothing's gonna really, really last. But this was it wasn't like it was several months of wear and tear, and they had to replace it. Literally, they got rid of all of this. This is now blank space over here, with just the posters in 24 hours.
So that idea was just a one-day thing. It was destroyed that fast. Jeez.
So this was it, you said it was kids that did this?
Mm-hmm.
So, all right, I think I know what it is. It's whatever they're putting in the pickle shake.
Don't drink the pickle shake, folks.
I'm telling you, it's because it's Bunsen Honeydew, all right, and he's made the pickle shake, and he is, because Bunsen Honeydew made that 3D object accidentally, so so now whatever he's put in that pickle shake is causing massive anger and outrage in children, and they just have to destroy everything. That's clearly what it is.
Oh yes, Santa. It is a record.
That's
usually usually, there'll be wear and tear on stuff, like
Yeah, but
something might
over
crack,
time,
scratch.
like a
Ex-
long time.
exactly, like near the end of the festival where everybody's pretty much just worn it out, and it's like, okay, by then we kind of get it. You're going to have wear and tear from people coming in,
I,
sitting down.
I
I'm sorry,
was
go
there on the
ahead.
first day. I was there on the first day, and I still didn't see that. I feel left out because I don't. Uh, do you think there's a chance that they'll fix it and then put it back in, or no?
That's a good question.
That's a good question. I don't think.
It does
Surprised
take
Yeah, I
up.
don't
they
think they
didn't.
will after one day. It's like
Mm,
looking at all these set pieces and stuff like this. If they do bring it back, there probably
uh,
won't be like the desk here, like the chemistry desk here.
I'll
There
just
probably
have
won't
the
be the
back.
lab desk. They'll probably put stuff like up where people can't get to it, which is a shame because if you guys know from the Muppets, all of the sight gags to be able to take a picture like this where you're in quote unquote
Mhm.
Muppet Labs and in the back where they have, that chalkboard that has,
Yeah.
not only just formulas and stuff like that, but there's usually all kinds of Muppets jokes and things that are on there as well. And it's just a shame that this happened. So Ron, you said you went to the first day and this wasn't up. What time did you go? Do you remember?
No, I'm saying I don't. I didn't see it. I mean, it's not that I wasn't looking for it. I wasn't paying attention, so I just clearly just missed
Okay.
it. Because I wasn't looking for it. But it's funny because it's looking at the Odyssey now and the Communicore Hall. It's really weird. Communicore Hall was supposed to be Festival Center, but the Odyssey, because of it has so much greater theming with the Muppets, and even though they've taken this out, it's still, even with this, has much better theming than Communicore Hall. It's surprising. It still feels like the Odyssey is like the Festival Center, but realistically, they basically just don't have a real true festival center anymore. When they were using Wonders of Life, did you ever come to the festival when they were using Wonders of Life, Lorena?
No, I don't think I'd moved down there by down here by
Okay.
then.
All right, so Wonders of Life is huge, right? And for a long time they didn't have an attraction inside it, so they used it as the festival center. And obviously it's weird because it's a corner of Epcot that is far away from the rest of the festival, but the space was really well utilized. They had not only food kiosks in there, but they had huge spaces for shows and demonstrations, cooking demonstrations, and all kinds of
Hmm.
wonderful things. And when they first announced that they were going to build a new festival center in the center of Epcot, where it was supposed to be the big 3-tiered building with the rooftop garden area for special
Hmm.
fireworks viewing and everything, and it looked amazing. And I was like, finally, we're getting a real festival center. And then they dumbed it down to what it is. And now you've got kids attacking this over at the Odyssey and a Communicore that is a shame for anything that should ever be done by Disney. And they still don't have a legitimate festival center after spending millions of dollars, which is, I mean, I would think somebody should get fired for somebody ought to be fired for all of this junk that's happened. Because Epcot, there are parts of the refurbishment or the changeover to Epcot that are nice, but it just doesn't flow and it's convoluted, and it frustrates me every time I go because I still love Epcot, but I'm very frustrated mostly about the dumbing down, because that what could have been the festival center, I think, was sacrificed for Moana, and whoever made that decision, that was the wrong decision. Absolutely wrong decision, because Journey of Water, not that big of a deal compared to what we really needed for a real festival center.
Well, I forget the name of the. I'm probably forgetting it on purpose because his fingerprints were all over this reimagining over at Epcot, and he was always posting about it. And then, boom, you heard absolutely nothing from this dude. One of the things about the Odyssey Pavilion is you have the architecture that's in there. And it's like when you're in the Odyssey Pavilion, you can actually look out across, the World Showcase Lagoon, just how it was, how it was shaped. It was, you know, perfect. And it's like you think that they would have just improved upon that design and put that pavilion in another area that looks just as nice, probably different perspective. But over here from Disney Dan Becker, they already took away the prop table at the Muppets Lab because the guests ripped it up. Holy crap. So apparently somebody said it was bad. They had everything glued down to the table and the kids were pulling it off. They broke
That's
all the fake
odd.
test
They usually
tubes.
glue the stuff down.
Mhm.
I may or may not have done. Just out of curiosity, does it move? No, they usually like either bolt it down, glue down props. Like,
Or they've
please,
got,
that
they've
was some
got,
force.
Gorilla Glue. I'm trying to forget. It's not E1000 because that's the really
Why were
crappy type of
the
glue.
parents letting this happen? Why
That's.
where were parents? Where were cast members? What the heck?
You see, I'm
I
surprised for
mean,
a photo op they didn't have cast members on each side, and then one of the photographer cast members that
That's a
I don't know, like have it supervised in a way, but not supervised. So
yeah,
there's like an organized flow of traffic. Okay, next. I don't. Just like a free for all
I don't
for photo
I
op.
don't yeah, I don't get it because well, the other photo op spaces, I'll just say, like in the Magic Kingdom, I haven't seen this problem happen in the Magic Kingdom.
But
But then
in
again, they aren't as elaborate
yeah,
as this
and
one was.
there's just like a staging where you walk in between like a frame.
Exactly. You
And
walk
you
in and
can't
it's
really
kind of like
mess
a
that up.
box.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's like a box. You can't really like knock the box down. That would be really a destructive to just
Yeah, where the parents. And see
yeah.
this was what I was thinking of because as a kid, if I would have tried doing it, first of all, my parents were like, don't mess with stuff like that. And if I would have started pulling stuff off, oh my God, my mom would have like pulled her shoe off and threw it at me. I would have been
Mhm.
embarrassed in public. It's one thing if the kids accidentally knock something over. They're not being malicious or anything like that. They just may be excited and they just hit something at the right angle and boom, something happens. That's different.
I have
But
another
in
question
this
here.
case, oh no, go ahead.
That counter, I mean, is it counter high? I mean, that guy standing behind it, so it's like up to the waist of an adult. So toddlers can't really reach that. It's had to have been older kids.
That's a good question. I don't know if
And
it
as
was.
parents are holding their child and they're reaching over and the parents are
Mhm.
allowing their like 12 to 24, maybe 36-month-olds to just kind of grabby. But even then, you can just take their arm and no, no, like take their little arm and just, I, I mean,
I'm
and there's no way from a stroller, a kid, if they're strapped in a stroller, they're sitting too low. So
yeah. There's
my
no
guess,
video of this anywhere. Nothing
there's
on Twitter.
no
Nothing.
there isn't any video. Mostly people have been
this had to have been older kids, like
posting.
first, second grade, where they're not in strollers, but they're just tall enough to reach a counter and they're just touching. By that age, they should know better. Really
I
know better.
I think if this was to scale, what I think it was, what that table was to scale, I'm guessing that they were, older kids, like 5, 6, 7, on up, that way. According to this post, somebody's like,
Did this
"Dang, that
happen last
sucks."
Thursday or Friday? Did it happen Thursday or
I'm
Friday? Like Thursday, the first day of the festival?
Thursday, the first day of the festival.
Because there was nobody there. Like that's what's so weird. Like you were, I think, were you there? I know I was there that day, and I mean
I
it was dead as a
saw kids
doornail.
messing with it and
You were
came
there
back an hour
Friday.
later and it was closed off and destroyed. This
Yeah.
Sonoma 15 on.
Mhm.
Well,
Yeah.
my
I mean,
question to this,
so
well, they
weird.
have a photo.
oh wow.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Wow. Holy, I was not expecting that. Jeez.
Just to kind of
So
compare to okay, so this is
Wow.
what it looks like, you know, when everything was there and together, and then go here and this is what this was looked like. This was the first day, because the reason I remember it was the first day of the festival, that
unbelievable.
Thursday, is because that Friday I went to Halloween Horror Night, so I did not go first day to food and wine.
Go back
Shame, my
to their
Christmas.
photo where it's all put together.
That's right. That's right.
Oh.
People.
Wow.
I just can't when I think
Like a tornado just
about this.
through
Look,
there.
I think somebody left something
It's like
up here.
rabbit ears.
I mean, like not. I mean, not. It,
Look at that.
this brings up something else. Hey, Tom F. He says just plain demon offspring that were unleashed. Yeah, because first of all, how can you
Disney
not know what your kids are doing?
It was the spawn of Beetlejuice.
But they have cameras. They have cameras everywhere. I'm just surprised.
If you saw the
I
movie,
don't know.
you know.
I think, and
haven't
this
seen it yet.
this is just me. There's kind of like two angles when I look at this. I have noticed, I want to say, since I've been a local going to the parks, I mean, I had somewhat noticed it when I was visiting, we'll say since starting in 2018. But the more that I go into the parks, the more I notice there are people visiting who think that they are allowed to do anything and whatever they want, talk to people however they want, and let their kids do whatever they want. It's like they do not want to be parents to their kids while on vacation. I know you don't like it, but you're going to have to parent while you're on vacation as well. It is not the job of the cast members to parent your children. That is it in a nutshell.
Well, it makes you wonder what they get away with at home, because I got to tell you, I disciplined at home so they wouldn't act this way in public. The message was very well received.
From the perspective of somebody who was a lifeguard cast member for 6 months, I can tell you, parents that come to Disney, a very large percentage of them expect like they are paying for every cast member to have babysitting services. I can't tell you the number of parents when I'm sitting by the pool that were not paying attention the times that I had to jump in and save a kid's life because a parent was scrolling on their phone. And then I actually saw, like, I remember this one kid, I jumped in, saved his life, got him out, and the parent scolded the child. The child was 5, okay? 5 years old. And I mean, you know, when you're a cast member, you can't say anything. Those times were tough for me because I could have easily lost it, and I had to control myself because I was on stage and working at the time. But I'm telling you, and we all talked about it. I mean, all the lifeguards talk about how awful the parents are. I mean, it's bad. It's really, really bad. And I'm not going to say every parent's like that, but I'm at least 25 to 50% of the parents, they're on it. It's like they feel like they're on vacation from their kids instead of with their kids. It's weird.
No, that phone, we never, when we went to water parks, I mean, we're Florida natives. So to a Florida native, when you're raised around water, you take any body of water seriously. Then again, I know there are some Floridians that don't, but helicopter pan water. I was not gonna child drown. That phone goes in the water
It should be.
before.
I just, and
We
I,
definitely are.
yeah, it's. I have to shake my head because I've seen parents just let their kids just run freaking rampant in the parks, and both of you guys are, you're right. One, people aren't taking responsibility for their kids and think that because they're on vacation that the cast member is supposed to watch after their kids. No, 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 no. The only time that I had the cast members look after my kids, well, my kid and my nieces and nephews, was when I paid to put them in the Neverland Club or on the little, the supervised excursions.
Mhm.
That was the only time. And before we went, they got a talking to before they even did, before they even went on that. But it's, and CJ's right. It's like you've always had slacker parents, but they were kind of like the minority.
Yeah, this is in one day.
In
That
one
much
day.
destruction in one day. Like,
One
it
day.
had to have been like every family that walked through there. I feel like that just let their kids run amok.
And I honestly think with a lot of people, and yes, I'm going to say a lot because of how much I notice this at the parks compared to years past. Combined, and this is not an excuse, this is an observation, combined with how much it costs to get into the parks with the reduction in value. There used to be this joke back in the day. It's like, okay, I plan on sticking it to the mouse. But sticking it to the mouse basically meant being smarter about spending your money,
Yeah.
Where to put value and where not to put value, stuff like that.
Mhm.
Now people want to take it out on, they want to take it out on the cast members. They want to take it out on destroying stuff that's there. They want to take it out on, like, for example, people getting out the boat on Living with the Land to try to get a cucumber out of the
Oh my gosh, I remember that
have you
video.
remember that?
Golly,
Got
yes.
out of the boat so they could go and steal themselves
Like, you can't
a
get an
cucumber.
organic cucumber at Walmart. It's a cucumber, like you've never had one before?
But it's not
Come
a
on.
Disney cucumber. See, that's the
Oh
thing. They're
my
probably like, yeah, I'm gonna get this Disney cucumber and I'm gonna sell it on eBay. I
for
mean,
like $1,000.
I've
Golly.
never seen stuff like that. Remember the one guy? I think you remember the one guy. He was over in the Italy pavilion, and somebody bet him $6,000 that he would jump into that replica of the Tiber River, and
Yeah.
he did it. He literally went in
I
there and
assume he's banned now from the parks.
yeah. He was banned from the
People don't think
park.
of that consequence. Disney has the right to ban you for as long as they see fit.
It's between like that, the more like fights that you see breaking out, all of that. It's, and I talked about this on another stream. I can't remember which one it was. But people who go here on vacation, they're not situationally aware. They take their family problems with them. I can't tell you how many domestic disagreements I've seen in the parks as well. It's like, at least keep that crap at home, or at least wait till you get to your hotel and do that.
Mhm.
Or it's, it's not your kids' fault that they're tired and hungry because you have them out here in 100-degree heat at 1 o'clock in the afternoon. That's your fault, not,
Yeah, exactly.
not the kids' fault. But I've noticed this escalation, and the poor cast members, there's only so much that that they can do, and they're not really apt to interfere. Like, I have seen some cast members. Okay, case in point. All right, you let your kid climb up on the fences. You're dumb as hell. You really are, and you're not even telling your kids to get down. But you have poor cast members who are like, "I'm sorry, friends, can we get down? Can we get down off the, off the?" They're like climbing on the fences, like the
That irritates my
you know,
sister
the
to no end.
barriers that you walk through. They're
Yeah.
sitting on those and stuff like that. And the parents just freaking let them,
Yeah.
they let them do that. And then they get mad at the cast members who try to remind them, okay, we can't have them you know, sitting on those barriers, and just like, what are you talking about? I can do anything. I spent good money to be here. It
Yeah, but they don't see
really,
that they don't see the other side of it, where it's a safety concern. If you fall, and that's the point, is to prevent you from breaking your elbow or somebody else's.
it's
They don't see
it's just
that liability, and that's what Disney's looking at. You have to look at it
no,
from Disney's perspective.
no, they really don't. It's like the people at Gatorland who, we'll say some of the visitors at Gatorland get near the gator pens and
Yeah, no
try to put
thanks.
their kids on their shoulders
Yeah.
or let their kids climb up on stuff. I'm just like, you really are
Mm.
stupid.
I'm terrified of Gatorland. Ugh, I'm afraid if I go in there, I'll never.
No. It's just it's safe. I worked there for 5 years. I worked
Okay.
literally 3 feet from giant alligators. So
Oh.
very, very safe. It was always fun. For me, it was very surreal that period of time because I was a caricature artist. So this was really weird that I had my caricature stand, and then I look down and there's a gator, like almost reaching distance. Obviously, there's a barrier that but like it was pretty wild, pretty surreal. Drawing somebody's picture. Oh, there's a gator growling.
Mhm.
And do they get loud during mating season?
Yes. Yes. That's why it's like, you hear that? Back away.
Mm.
Yeah.
Back away. Back away. But
Also, fun fact: gators are cannibalistic.
very, oh my gosh. Here's another thing to kind of, because there's a difference, and I like to point this out. There's a difference between people who are coming in from like out of town and I will say your local mindset. Usually people who are from Florida or people who are usually from the South are more apt to tell their kids, no, you're not jumping on everything. Don't make me say this, that, and the other thing. You better get down for that. I've heard that conversation more often than not when you're out in the, in the regular world. Let's put it this way. I don't see kids climbing on stuff at the Florida Mall, so to speak. When I'm out.
There's special places for them to climb on stuff at the Florida Mall. I mean, that's designated. So over by Buca de Beppo.
Yeah.
It's I don't know. This kind of,
I feel like it's this style. It's been around for a while, where like you negotiate with your kids. It's the talking through. I can't stand that parenting style because it doesn't really let the child know who's the parent and who's the child. And it leaves it wide open for your kid to manipulate you in return and walk all over you. You think you're in control, but you're really not. I've seen this firsthand, and I'm not going to say one more, but irritating. I spanked my kids. I'm sorry. I tell them, caca, no. And they would, but with a very loud, firm voice, if you startle them, it worked great for my kids. My ex-husband was like, you say what? I'm like, just tell him, no, caca, it works. But you have to be loud. That when they're just reaching, you go, caca, and
they know because
tap. You just tap. You don't have to hit hard. You just tap, and you tell them, no, don't touch. You do that until they're like 3. They get the message. You'd be surprised. They can understand at a very young age, very young. When you put them in a walker, they can start reaching. That's when you start telling them, no. They know what no means. Just because they're, they can't articulate words doesn't mean they don't understand what no means.
Yeah,
Anyway,
I mean,
I get really annoyed with
I
it.
had the voice in public. If I start using that voice in public,
Mhm.
it's like, okay, no, we really don't want, to
We
do that.
had
It's like I'm an advocate of using spanking as a very surgical thing. You should not be overusing that.
yeah, no, exactly.
It
Only
would be
when
out
you
in
really
public, my kid didn't listen, then you get pinched. No one knows what happened, but they
yeah.
know. And
Mhm.
after they don't get
What
that, then
no, what
guess
we
what?
would
If they take you
do
to the car.
yeah, we would take him to the car or the bathroom.
Hmm.
And one time, it only took one time, and then every time we went to the store, you got a warning. You get in there and you start acting, you will be in the car and you know what's gonna happen.
Hey,
And
Tina.
And no,
Oh.
we okay, so we had to do that with Christian. I don't know what it was with this child. He hated grocery shopping. But when Raph was at work, and I had to take him with me, so I put him in the front car and he would just and I'm like, "Oh my gosh." So like 3 trips and I was like, "That's it. I'm done." I told Raph, "When you get home, shopping together as a family, you can see what I go." And he did it again. Raph picked him up, took him, I think, to the bathroom. And then from that point on, we would tell Christian in his car seat, "Look, we're going in there, we're going grocery shopping, or we're going to go eat," because we would take him out to eat. And he didn't like that either for whatever reason. And if we didn't do that warning, he would act up in the restaurant or the grocery store. But the second we would tell him, "Hey, this is what's going to happen if you start screaming when we get in there," he would literally
I
like this and not a
I
peep.
remember getting that talking to before we even get in here. Let me tell you exactly what's going to happen. And I mean, people used to do that. People used to
Right.
understand when you,
You know, you
when you
follow
were
through.
disciplining your kids, or basically telling them, right out, you cause problems. We're gonna, we're
And you
gonna
have
have
to follow
problems.
through. It can't be empty threats because a kid knows when it's an empty threat. And if you develop a pattern of that, they're never going to take you seriously when you tell them no. It's not
No,
you. So
they're
you
really not.
always you really have to follow through on, 3 times, and that's it. Then the consequence will happen. But the consequence has to happen.
Right.
You
It's
keep
sure.
giving them chance after chance. That's I've noticed in some parenting, they give them chance after chance after chance. 3, 2, 1. I'm
No.
like, stop with the counting backwards and just pop, you know.
You don't, and Tom F is right, and he boiled this down to: parents are trying to be friends,
Yeah,
not parents. It doesn't
parents.
work.
Yep.
And you 100%
Mhm.
right. It's like they're trying to negotiate. It's like, yeah, you have a little bit of, I don't call it negotiation when I do it. I'm like, you have a
Oh, I've
choice.
seen it. Oh,
You have choice one, or you have choice two. That's what you have. But you'll see some parents are like, okay, if you calm down, I'll get you this. If you calm down, no, well, how about we do this? Well, how about we do this? But how about we do that? It's like,
mm-mm.
how about you be a freaking parent? Okay. And you're not letting your kids destroy stuff. And if your kids are not being cooperative, guess what? You have to remove them from that situation. I know it's not convenient for you, but when you go on a family vacation, guess what? A family vacation is kind of like a oxymoron, honestly. If you ask me, it just is. Your family issues don't end because you went to Disney World. Your responsibility for being a parent
Yeah.
to your child does not
Have
end when you're at
Have
Disney.
you noticed? Because I was kind of observing this the last couple of years. It seems like parents are letting kids out of strollers more and just wandering around. And you're like, kids. For me, that was kind of.
Hmm,
I felt like I'm constantly like, like, and I'm like,
that's
I've kind of noted. I don't know if you have, but um,
I really, if anything, I've seen kids who are way older than they should be in strollers. And
yeah, I've seen that too.
not
Yeah.
like there's some kids who have like some older kids, like they can't sit up. They have like with their muscle tone. So but they're
Mhm.
in specially designed
Yeah.
strollers. So that's different. But you will see like some 8, 9-year-old kid shoved in a Disney stroller. No, 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 no.
No,
Make
I
their
walked.
asses walk.
I was,
Okay.
yeah, I remember the EPCOT. I was 9 years old and my little sister was 7 years apart. She was in the stroller and my parents were like, "You're gonna walk." I was like,
Yes, you are gonna walk. Because they need to burn off that energy. And
mhm,
that brings me to another thing with Disney removing a lot of these kid play areas because I remember these where you could basically put them out there and let them run around and get
yeah,
that, let them get that
yeah.
energy off. They need time to de-stress because a lot of them are overwhelmed. They have to walk twice as fast as you just to catch up. Kids are naturally going to act out. It's your job
To
to
mitigate it.
exactly to mitigate that, whether it's okay, you know what, I know we were going to do X, Y, and Z, we're just going back to the hotel. I have done that where it's just like cranky, they're not listening, something's going on. Okay, we're just gonna leave. And we did that. And we went back. They just need a friggin' nap, especially when you have little kids. I'm sorry, you're doing half as much, half as fast. And people tend to forget that. And then get annoyed when their kids act up. Bottom line is, kids are going to act like kids. It's your job as the parent to be the parent, okay, and handle that. Even if you have kids with special needs, because some of them they will have meltdowns depending on the situation. You as a parent, it's your job to mitigate that. You need to know if it's like, okay, we need to go someplace quiet, or we need to do something else, and we need to take them out of the situation. That's your job. But from this article here, it's saying, okay, so I guess from 9/1, we can verify the photo op will be returning. It may be an extra day or two, but it will be back in brewing. Let's see. Now, I
I just
was there
remember.
on the second, and it had not returned. I was there Labor. I think was there. Yeah, I was there Labor Day. Photo op hadn't returned.
Well, when
There
it
was
comes back, I wonder if they're gonna staff it with cast members, you know, just to kind of, because maybe that would, I don't know, it's just something like almost like security. If you see them there, maybe you're more inclined to tell your kids, "No, don't touch." I don't know. Like, that's like the psychology with that
yeah. It's
or
gonna
not.
be interesting. So if anybody is going, see if the photo op is back yet. I know I'm not going to be there for about another week or so, but it will be interesting to see if they do that. If they have cast members who are going to be there, to kind of control access to the photo op, or maybe they quote unquote dumb it down somewhat. I don't know. I mean, last year, okay, hang on. So I'm looking at these lights that are up here. Now, last year, all of the props were up here in this,
Hmm.
up there on ledges. That's where all the props were. So you didn't have to worry about any of that. But I guess they thought, hey, let's do a cool photo op, which is nice in theory, but with the way that too many guests are now, unfortunately, uh, folks, just stop destroying the sets and bars. Okay, just don't. It's not. Just let everyone have the chance to have the experience. Don't be a selfish a-hole. Okay, just
Well,
don't.
we're at MG or MGM. Yeah, I just aged myself. Hollywood Studios. People were stealing really big pencils from the Woody's barbecue place. First
Yes, from
open.
Woody's Roundup Barbecue.
I was
Yeah.
like, that is such a cute touch, to the experience at the restaurant. And
Mhm.
apparently, yeah, people stole enough of them, and now it's just a regular like pen. I'm like, really? That was such a cute idea, and it that was really disappointing to read about that.
but don't also it also it's not just a Disney World thing. Even over at Disneyland, I think in Toontown they had to put barriers because
Queue
kids were
line?
climbing on crap.
Was it the Mickey's Runaway Railroad at Disneyland? The kids were like destroying the queue line props in that queue. That's just nuts.
It's yeah,
You pay all that money for the theming and for everything to look nice, and other guests. It's not even Disney destroying their own property, which you wouldn't expect that.
Yeah. Tom's going to be right back. Ron's going to be right back. He had to reboot because StreamYards usually picks somebody to mess with, and they picked him. They picked him today. It's Florentin says in Japan you can keep beautiful details because everyone obeys there. Yeah, it's a different social construct or culture that they have.
They take that honor system very seriously, and you honor your parents and your grandparents. You are to honor your elders, and that is a very, very strict, like, I guess, moral structure. It's just embedded in their culture. When we lived there, we could just see it. It just permeated. You could leave your front door. You could leave a car unlocked. On Okinawa, and nothing would with. That's how safe it was.
Yeah, it's way different there. The culture is different. And so I tell people, when you go to foreign countries like that, like you see these vloggers that'll go over to Japan and just do dumbass stuff, or it's just ridiculous. But you're absolutely right. It's like it is understood culture-wise. You don't go around destroying things like that on purpose. So let's see. We get to a few more of your comments, and then we're going to move on to our topic about vloggers at the parks. Let's see. Meg B says, if my kids gave me even the indication they were going to do anything like this, they would have been in huge trouble. Not above public embarrassment to learn a lesson. Yeah.
Same here.
Sometimes you got to go there.
Yep.
And it used to be people understood that. And you said, you know what? See, that could have been you.
Oh, but it's like shaming, and that's mental abuse.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, right.
It's like, yeah. Think about that when your kid's in front of a judge, because
exactly.
I have used that several times. Coach O'Dragon says, then again, Disney adults don't seem to want to be held responsible because they'll always play victim by not supervising their children. Yeah, you've got a group of Disney adults like that. Let me set the definition. Okay, there's adults who love Disney, like us, and then there's Disney adults where they pretty much set their brain on Disney and everything else, whatever. It's completely, it's aggravating. It's absolutely aggravating. And Tina BB says, if you think this is bad, you should see some of the parents on cruise ships. Oh, Lord. Yes, I've seen this. I found a toddler just wandering around on one deck. Have no idea where the parents are. Their brand go on on vacation
out in the middle of the ocean, and you're gonna lose your kid. Oh my gosh, that goes through me. You want to talk about panic? Immediately, my thoughts go, my kid went overboard. No.
I was a helicopter parent.
They'd have a leash
on a cruise ship. I mean, I had one of those. I had a leash for Camera Girl when I was. Well, it looked like a backpack. They're like, you did that? I said, yes. I know exactly where she is. But when we went on a Disney cruise, because that made me nervous because we were in a cruise ship. And the only time that she went wandering a little bit ahead of me was we were at the pool. They gave me this really, really potent drink because we were not in port for some reason. And I got this Bahama Mama drink and I took 2 sips and I was like seeing double.
Oh gosh.
And, she was right there. I was literally like a foot and a half away from her, just sitting right there when she was in the pool. And oh Lord, she wound up throwing up in the pool. And this British lady was right there and she was asking her, she's like, where's your mom? And she's like, right there. She's like, oh, you might want to get her out of the pool. She's not feeling very well. And she seemed relieved that it's like, I was literally right there. So it wasn't like she was unsupervised, but she noticed something had happened. But I told her, I said, thank you, very, very much. But it's like, I didn't let her out of my sight. Why? One, I didn't want her getting kidnapped. That was just me. So I had an eye on my kids, but for some reason they'll just let their kids run rampant, do whatever it is that they want to do, and you wind up destroying stuff like this. So no. So I would say if you don't want to say something to the guests, just let a cast member know and let them take that information, where they will. But I will say this, people doing this destroy the experience for so many other people at the parks. It's unfair. They paid the same admission price as you for the most part to get in. So don't be freaking selfish and raise your kids. Control your kids. That's all I'm saying. Control your kids. Hey, Ron is back.
I'm trying to fix these technical glitches, but it's I don't know. I don't know what's going on. I think I might need to do a complete computer restart or something. Clear caches. I don't know.
Clear the cache. I'm trying not to reboot my router. I think I just need it's not bad, but technology accelerates, and usually every 3 years I have to get a new router. Not that I pay for it, but it's just like, we get you. We have a new model. I'm like, well, freaking send it to me. All right, folks. So 27 of you folks here watching, we so do appreciate you all being here. So we're going to get to our next topic. And it was something that I wasn't really looking for, but it landed in my lap. As you know, I'm a Disney blogger. Ron's a Disney blogger, as well. And one of the things that I've noticed kind of out there in the ether are different ways that people react to vloggers. You'll have some people who are just like, vloggers give me all this cool information that I'm glad to have. You'll have another group who are just like, ugh, these freaking vloggers. I can't go anywhere in the park without seeing them. And they're, destroying my experience, and Disney should ban them. And they don't really have any I mean, it's out there. It really is. It really is. I read
the debates in the Facebook groups, and it's wow. It's educating to read. I will say, just
I had no idea really, like about that. Because Ron, how long have you been vlogging?
I mean, steadily for a year and a half. It's interesting. When I went to Universal, I didn't really know their protocol. I never asked this at Disney because I see live streamers there all the time and it's regular. But I went to to do my first Universal stream not long ago. Was it Islands of? Was I at Island? No, I don't remember which park it was at actually. Whether it was Universal or Islands, I think it was Islands. Mm-hmm. And I went in to the guest services area. And the team member that I spoke with there, she didn't really seem to understand if they had any rules on streaming or not. And she started to go over what she thought Florida law was. And I'm like, I don't even know how that applies exactly. But I mean, it's one of those things where the fact of the matter is, the companies themselves every single guest is on camera unless they're in a restroom pretty much 100% of their visits. So if you're a guest and you're going in there, as a matter of fact, I've seen the signs. You've probably seen them when you walk into Universal Studios. Sometimes they're actually filming something there, and they have signs that say, if you came into the park today, that constitutes your agreement to be in the background of films or whatever.
Yeah.
Right.
I don't know. I mean, Family Matters, not Family Matters. Blackish has filmed at Disney not that long ago. Lots of sitcoms have filmed at Disney. Soap operas and stuff have filmed at Universal. So there's always, I think it's funny that people go into a studios park and don't expect filming to be taking place. You're in a studios park. And it is private property. So if you are doing something that is particularly overtly disruptive to the guest experience, there have been very famous YouTubers who are not Disney YouTubers, but were at Disney and have now been banned from property forever for what they did on their YouTube channels. Some of it, which you knew, they knew going in they were going to get banned.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm going to try to sneak into Disneyland.
Yeah. Oh, I'm going to spend the night, and I'm going to hide out and spend like stupid challenges. And I'm like, I don't get ticked off, when you get caught and get banned.
Exactly.
Walking up to guests and trying to interview them for your channel or vlog or whatever, and going, hey, that's disruptive. It's really bad because most of us vloggers or streamers, I know Lorena does, I do, we try to stay out of people's way. Try not to, if I'm in a line, I aim my camera up so I'm filming above heads or aiming at a wall and just talk to my, but there are other people that make the experience disruptive for guests, and they kind of run it for the rest of streamers, because your regular guests, they don't know the difference between a regular Disney vlogger and somebody who's out there trying to get themselves kicked out of the parks on purpose.
Right. They have no idea. It's just like there's this person and they're filming, and it seems like they're being really, really intrusive. But on the flip side, which kind of brings me to this. So this is this post by Disney Scoop Guy, who says, this mentality is so gross and entitled. Just because someone makes content does not mean they owe you their time. They're not required to stop and talk to you. If you follow someone's content, that doesn't entitle you to their personal time. Content creators are people with boundaries, and if you can't respect boundaries, then you should stay away from people. Now, with that post said, this is the video he's talking about.
All right, so I'm still at Hollywood Studios, and something really annoyed me right now. I ran into one of these Disney content creators that I follow. I'm not going to name any names, but she was so rude. Like, I said hi, and she barely even acknowledged me and continued walking straight. Like, I'm sorry. If you're going to be a Disney creator and hang out at the parks a lot, people are going to notice you around the parks. If you don't want people to say hi to you, then I'm sorry. This is the wrong thing for you to be doing. Like, get a grip. You're not all that. You're not famous. You're a Disney content creator. If anyone ever sees me at the parks and notices me, I'm not anything big or anything, but I will gladly say hi, do whatever, acknowledge you. You just acknowledge your existence. I said, hello. She basically continued walking. She heard me because she looked at me. So rude. Do better.
That's funny to me.
What's the comments like? What's the debate? Is there any debate in the comments?
It's a debate in the comments, and
not much of a debate.
I'll probably get that into a bit because it's very interesting. So the person who posted this came from the standpoint of this, like, content creators owe you nothing. They owe you nothing. They have lives too. They have boundaries. They're not obligated to stop and talk to you. And I'm kind of with the same mindset of this particular young lady here. I don't know her channel, but here's the thing. It's like, as a content creator, no, you are not obligated to give attention. However, it's in your best interest.
Yeah.
So, and that's the difference. It's like I've seen some vloggers, very, very big, prominent vloggers, who will recognize me. They know who I am, but they won't say anything. I'm like, okay, I'm good with that. I'm honestly too busy doing my own content to, worry about if I'm recognized by a huge vlogger, or not. There's some vloggers who I've only seen, and, every now and then, and they hug me like they know me, like PC Deb. I saw him at the opening of the tribute store for Halloween Horror Nights. And he comes up to me and gives me a hug and everything, and I'm like, oh my gosh, really? You know who I am? You know who I am?
That's so cool.
So I thought that was really, I thought that was really cool. I mean, I wasn't streaming or anything right then. I was kind of just getting video content, but I thought that was cool. There's a couple of like other, there's one vlogger, one theme park vlogger who I swear looks scared every time he sees me, and he knows who I am. He looks like he wants to, run and hide in the corner. Other ones just kind of like won't talk to you. I'm like, okay, that's fine. Doesn't really bother me that much. But I know for me personally, and you guys heard me say this on stream, if somebody comes up to me while I'm streaming and they want to say hi, y'all in the chat will have to wait while I talk to this person, because it's like, no, I could act as if I don't know you, but that wouldn't be very good. You go out of your way to come to talk to me and say how much you appreciate my content. I do not mind talking to you at all. It doesn't cost to be courteous to people, because being courteous to people, that pays off. Being discourteous to people, that is really, really not going to bode well for you. So while content creators really don't owe you anything, it's not in their best interest to act as if they're above other people. Like Rana said, when we've been out, live streaming, we're kind of like in the background, because when I'm out streaming, there are people who will not walk in front of the camera. And I'm just like, can you please keep going? I'm trying to give people the idea of what's truly going on, in the parks. I'm not trying to, pose everything. If I go into a theater, I will purposely try to sit in the back, or as much in the back as possible, unless I'm forced to sit up front. I don't really like doing that. When I'm going on attractions, I don't like to talk through the attractions, because I want people to hear everything. And one time I was at Universal, and the team member said, just make sure that you're not, talking through the attraction. I'm like, no, I get it. Thank you very much. I understand that. I'm not, that I'm not gonna do that. But it just amazes me how many people,
but you're in, no matter how big or small your channel is, you're in the public eye, or you're stepping into that. So you have to have awareness. And if you are noticed, it just, like you said, it doesn't take much to be kind to somebody. Hey, how are you?
I will give the exception to the rule. Sometimes you're just running to the bathroom. Maybe that lady just had to pee. You never know, because we're all human.
Yeah, but even then you kind of, I gotta go. I'm going to the bathroom. Like you, at least I would communicate something with my body language. I can't talk right now. And you can tell because I'd be power walking.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
like I'm headed. There's body language indicators, you know.
Where's she at? Mexico? She's in. Is that Mexico?
Yeah,
That's Epcot?
she's in the Mexico pavilion. Yeah.
Interesting. Whatever. I mean,
Yeah.
like, I don't know. It's a funny thing. I have, because I've been doing this so regularly now for over a year. I mean, I've met a lot of content creators, purposely gone out of my way. Obviously, live streamers are easy. When I first met Tanya, um, the crazy Disney lady, she was so nice, so sweet, and she's been nice and sweet ever since. And I was a cast member back then. It was a long time ago. It might have been 2018 or 2019 because I think I was still working at Yak Yeti then. And that's how I met her the first time and subscribed to her channel. And when you see live streamers, they're live streaming from the parks. And I watch live streamers. I don't even always know who they are, but I'm like, hey, I'm gonna say hi, and I will let them know I'm not stalking you. I'm just gonna say hi. I like chat beforehand.
Mm-hmm.
But then the day, like the first day of EPCOT, food and wine. It was so funny. I walked into the Communicore building at the Mac. What's it called this year? Macatizers. Yeah.
Macatizer.
I think that's a new name, but it's the same booth. Anyway, so I walk in there and literally Ron on the go, Janelle from whatever, I can't remember her, Disney something, Disney Park streamers. Anyway, Janelle and Ron on the go and Tanya were all right there, and then I ran into them, and so now there's like literally four of us live streamers, all live streaming right in the same place, and it was complete coincidence. None of us meant for that, I don't think, to happen. It just ended up there. So, and you never know who you're going to see, especially on like the first day of a festival. I mean, I always think it's funny how few times, I think I've only ran into JoJo one time, and I remix a lot of his content, and so I wanted to say thank you for helping me get so many subscribers. But we made eye contact, but he was in fact talking to somebody else, so I'm not going to be rude and walk up to him and do any of that kind of stuff. I think, and I don't think she was trying to be rude either, or disruptive, but you have to know that maybe that content creator was in the midst of something, because most of the ones that I've met are at least very nice or cordial. I've met Tim Tracker on a number of occasions, and he's pretty cool. I mean, the first time I met him, it was really funny. I had left my umbrella on a table in front of the Odyssey, and it's in one of those shop buildings, down by the lake there at Epcot. I'm like, oh my gosh, it's starting to rain. And I pull up, and my umbrella's gone, right? And I'm like, oh wait, I think I remember where I left it. So I backtrack, and I asked the people. I saw the people at the table, and I said, "Is this any of your guys' umbrella?" And they said, "No." Okay, good. I just want to it's my umbrella. I left it here. And then I looked up, and it was Tim Tracker. And I'm like, oh wait, hey, you're Tim Tracker. He's like, oh yeah. It's like, good to meet you. It was funny. But Tim and Jen, and they were all there and nice. They were, I haven't had too many issues with that. So I am kind of surprised to see this out there, because I don't see, like, this also is a fairly isolated post. I haven't seen too many other people posting like this before. And like Lorena said, at PC Dev, came up and hugged her. So most of us, we realize what we're doing. We're all in the same boat together. Everybody had a start. So whatever.
Yeah, it's like we all had to start somewhere. That's why when you have some of these bigger channels who act as if they're too important to recognize smaller streamers, or just to say hi to someone who watches their channel, or even if you do stop and talk to them, don't make it all about you. That's the other thing, that I've seen as well. So was starting, honestly, at first I was just like, hey, we're all vloggers. We should all be able to talk to each other, right? No, not really. Not really. You have some people who really just, for whatever reason, they don't want to interact with other vloggers. For some of them, they're just like, hey, you're starting out. What's your channel? How can I help you?
Yeah.
There's one like larger channel where I was actually streaming and they were just like, oh, what's your channel? So we can follow, we can follow you. And if you see us, we're in the parks, say hi. That's really cool. It's like we all did have to start from some place. But with this here, what I don't like is the tone, because she makes some very, very salient points. I really do not disagree with anything, with anything really that she said, because she was just like, okay, well, I know she saw me because you know she looked at me, and I don't really see anything wrong, with this. It doesn't take that much to be friendly, even if you are engaged in something else, just a quick hi, or like Erica was saying, it's like, okay, I'm gonna go to the bathroom, but it's like, you know what, if you wait 5 minutes, I'll come back, and talk to you. You are actually out there in the public. Don't expect to make your money from the public, and you think you don't have to do any interaction.
I mean, like
That's just par for the course.
word of mouth reviews, has been proven to be very effective. You guys, it's out on all the streams with like entertainment discussions, and it's kind of no different with YouTube. And you want to keep that relationship good in the YouTube sphere. If you want to get good recommendations and if you want your channel to grow, to me, that just seems like common sense, lost my train of thought.
Yeah, yeah, but you're right. It's social media for a reason. It is social. I know this is going to shock some people, but I am an introvert. I have my time limit where I'm really super social, and a time when I'm not super, 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 super social. There's some people who can stream for like 6 hours. That's not your girl. Okay.
Mhm.
You get 2, possibly 3, because that's the best product that I can give you. But at the same time, even if I stream 3 hours and I'm dog tired or whatever, if someone comes up to me and says, hi, I'm so and so, I really enjoy watching, or just like, hey, how you doing? I will stop and say hi, to that person, because that's part of the thing. Your program, I mean, not program, your channel relies on a lot of public interaction, and word of mouth, because there's nothing worse than saying, oh yeah, they're a good, vlogger and everything, but they treat people like crap. They want that
I would
down.
that kind of reputation. I mean, I don't understand people would want that. I don't know.
No, nah. But then again, you get some people who, and I'm not going to call names out because I don't think that's really necessary, but you have some people who think that they are the be all to end all of vlogging at Disney. There's plenty of room at the table for different kinds of perspectives, and
Mhm.
you're very easily replaced, whether you don't consider that or not, but that's actually true. Ron, I know you got to roll out, my dear. What do you have going on to let the people know about?
Well, if I can't fix my tech, I got nothing going on. I gotta get all this stuff fixed. I know, backstage stuff. Monday through Friday, we do the daily dish at 9:30 a.m. Sometimes live from the parks, which is what happened yesterday. I wasn't sure what my subject was going to be, and I woke up early enough um, to to arrange to work out in the morning before, and then I'm like, you know what? I'm going to get to the park and I'm just going to live stream, and that's what happened. But I got to speak today to a former Miss America 1987, Kelly Cash, good friend of mine, and she has agreed to be on the show at some point in time. So who knows what we may discuss? She's Johnny Cash's great niece, so
Ooh,
she
nice.
just revealed to me that her and her family have been invited to a special event. I wish I could get a friendship invite to this, but they're unveiling a Johnny Cash statue in Washington, D.C. on the 24th of September. And she's very proud of this because Johnny Cash will actually have a Bible in his hand for the statue. So the whole family's excited about it. And hopefully we'll get her on the show at some point in time. She's agreed to be on it. So that and whatever else is going on in the theme parks and SeaWorld and Universal, and I still haven't gotten over to Gatorland right now. It's funny because I spent so much time as a worker at Gatorland and haven't done any content on the channel. It's like Lorena's specialty. We'll have to get over there together sometime, I think. But yeah, that's about it. But always Monday through Friday, you can catch the Daily Dish at 9:30 a.m.
All right.
And I see a lot of people in the chat who are there too. So love you guys.
Awesome. Yeah, folks, make sure you are subscribed to Ron Bradley, aka Follow the Bradleys Fun. There is a link to his channel in the description, so please do subscribe to him. Double check to make sure you're still subscribed to him, because YouTube will unsubscribe people for no reason.
But yeah.
I don't know. They'll just do that. But yeah, make sure you do. He's got great content. So glad he could pop in on the panel. So you have a wonderful rest of your day, my dear.
Thank you, Lorena and Erica, and everybody in the chat. Love you guys. We'll see you soon.
All right. Well, let's see. I wanted to get through two of the comments here before I wrap up some of the comments here. Obviously, this person decided to try and drag this lady. So there's one reply here to him saying, "I think it's funny. She said, 'You're not all that. You're not famous. Then why are you so upset that she didn't acknowledge you?' Well, it's common courtesy."
Is she is she an influencer? The girl that was doing the video?
She
I don't know her.
From what I know. But it's like, who she is and what she does is irrelevant to discussing the point of common courtesy. And that's the thing. And I get where she's coming from. There's some people, I don't know how big this person was. But I do know I've run into some bigger vloggers where it's just, they'll see people will recognize them or whatever, and they don't hardly give them the time of day. So the point of contention is common courtesy. So to say you can have a reaction to say, "I wish they would have responded back," but if not, you don't need to take it to social media blasting them over nothing. Yeah, well, first of all, it's like, who do you tell who you can put on blast on social media or not? She posted to social media to basically bring that up. A lot of other people did. And it's not over, quote unquote, nothing as far as I'm concerned. That's just me. Yeah.
Something to the public's attention, but she didn't, I at least give her, that much credit. She didn't name names. If she were really blasted, she would have targeted that person and named it. Then I would have been like, all right, you could have said something about name dropping them.
Exactly. Because it's like, who they are at the crux of the issue, who it is not important. What was going on is more important. So Disney Scoop Guy replies, "She doesn't care so much. She made a whole video about it." Yeah, a 1-minute video. I don't really think that's a big deal. She put her thoughts out there as much as you put a post out there about this. And then someone else says she was kind of snarky about being a Disney content creator, but it seems all of her TikTok videos are about Disney World and Disney related items. Seems like maybe a bit of jealousy. Nah, not jealousy. Because if she was jealous, she honestly would have named names, but she didn't do that. And snarking about being a Disney content creator, here's the point. It's like, okay, you're this big Disney content creator. It's not like you're curing cancer. Let's be honest. You're not curing cancer. You're not saving lives. You are, it's a service to other people, but you're basically out there and just vlogging. It's like, let's be realistic about what's going on here. And it really doesn't matter if she's a personal shopper. What does it matter what she does for in the in the blogosphere? She's on TikTok. What does that matter? The crux of the issue is you have a lot of vloggers out there for Disney who act as if they are the end all and be all of what's going on and are just rude as hell to people. Do content creators owe you their time? Like we said, no, they don't owe you, but it's in their best interest to give you that time. Yes, there are boundaries. You should respect boundaries. Like case in point, like Erica was saying, it's like if I'm like, look, I got to go to the ladies' room. If you wait 5 minutes, I'll be back and I can talk to you. And having somebody follow you in the ladies' room, yeah, that's a boundary. That's not being respected. So that is something that is completely different.
I'm just reading some of the comments.
Yeah, some of the comments. It's like, okay, so you're going to go after her personally because of that. Here's what I think. I think some of you didn't like some of the blowback, and I actually want to let me go over here to one of my favorite people, like Wall and Ball, and he's hilarious because I had to comment back to him. He says, "Nah, she kind of has a point. It's not a time thing. It can literally just be a smile and a wave, just be a general friendly presence. It's pretty much the least that someone can do if they're trying to grow a channel."
Yeah,
Bing.
just saying,
Exactly.
body language, what did they say? Is it 90% of all communication is not?
It's nonverbal.
That's a fact. That's not even like an opinion. That's actual fact. That's why they say to pay attention to what people do more than what they say. Actions speak louder than words.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So, considering how many people like this, it's obvious that,
Oh, that
yeah,
part.
yeah, that's my favorite, that part. I like to use that one, and it's totally the sanity of this. There's plenty of bloggers to choose from. That is true. Might as well call out the ones who aren't actually nice people and instead promote the ones who are a great time and gracious in the parks. And that is absolutely 100% true.
Ooh, I'm terrified to bust out around a theme, or at least at a Disney. It's tough kind of breaking it out open here in Europe. I get nervous and I'm like, oh gosh. I'm still getting used to the looks, and I don't know how the live streamers do it. Like, you're live and then you're juggling the screen on your, I guess, like the chat on the phone on top of, you have to look over your camera to see your surroundings so you're not running into things. And I'm gosh, the multitasking, that's insane. I feel like it's like a practice.
It does take a lot, and it does take some like getting used to with doing that. Sometimes you'll have people that are kind of like look at you, but eventually, I know, at least for me, eventually it's like I'm so, like, when I'm in the parks and I'm live streaming, I'm so like focused on what it is that like I'm doing and all the
Mhm.
multitasking that I'm doing, and at the same time trying to walk, walk around people who were just, oh, they're taking their time, being around. And although my stream says stroll and chill, trust me, I have a battle plan about where I'm going to go, how I need to get there. And, and okay, I want to take the people over there to see this, and see that. But at the end of the day, you're really, you're not saving the world. You're informing people and you're in
Yep.
a social space. It is social. You need to be
Yeah.
social. Like I said, I'm an introvert. I have a social battery,
Mhm.
but because I'm out in the park, because I see people, if people come up to me, I've had other content creators who are just starting out or thinking about starting out who will talk to me, and I'm just honored that they talk to me. I probably get a little too nosy because I'm trying to be helpful. I'm like, well, what's your channel and how's it going, and are there any questions you have about equipment, stuff like that. But it's so cool to do that. And yes, Blatson is right, content creators have the right to set boundaries with the public,
Mhm.
but they should still extend
Right.
basic courtesy when the
Right.
public
Right.
acknowledges it.
Yeah.
And that's it. And we've really gotten away from a lot of common
Basic.
courtesies
Yeah. Basic
because of social
courtesy.
media. Exactly. Like when people say hello, you may not know them, but just say hello, just say hello back.
Mhm.
Things
Even a
things like
wave,
that.
you know?
Yes,
Even a wave. Hi. And
wave, thumbs up. People are like, hi. I'm like, hey, how you doing? They'll see me streaming and they'll say hi. I've had people video bomb my stream. I'm like, that's okay.
I saw that on your Halloween streams recently. This little lady just went, I mean, you could tell she's having a good time. It was at Halloween Horror Nights. I'm like, that lady's
Yes.
having fun.
Halloween Horror Nights. Oh my gosh. I get video bombed all the time and I freaking love it. If it's not, the park guests video bombing my stream, it's the scare actors video bombing my stream.
Man, I didn't even think about that, about the scare actors.
Yes, they
So
they
are they
will they will do it.
ah,
They will come around me
ooh,
because
yeah.
they'll see the camera.
I
So some of
God.
them will come around to the back,
Mhm.
see which way the camera is facing. I've
Ugh.
noticed this, and then the ones that'll come to the front, they'll kind of take their time and like show stuff in the they will. It's
Ugh.
freaking it's
I
just
scare so easily. I'm like, "Ugh." So what you're saying is if I go with you and you got that camera out, I better run because they're coming for us.
they like to be very nosy, kind of see what I'm doing. And yeah, there's some people they know they can probably like startle and everything, but I do. I sometimes I have to check my freak out reflex because I'm streaming and I don't want people see me freaking out or anything like that. But it's
Go
fun.
check for
And
me
this
to
is
see I go mad.
another awesome channel. If you have not seen his channel, I've met him in person. Big time Myrtle Beach to Orlando. He's at the parks too. He says, love to run into you. You are always the sweetest. Well, thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much, my dear. I think I first met Big Time Myrtle Beach. I think it was at EPCOT. And we were filming the same thing.
I gotta sub to your channel because
Yes,
I
definitely
haven't
sub
heard of
to
that
Big
one.
Time Myrtle Beach. He's got
Big
lots of
Time
great
Myrtle.
videos. Just fun channel. Definitely check him out. He's another parks guy.
Mm,
Definitely check out his channel. Let's
Big
see. It's Florentin says live stream is better because you're engaging with the people, the place you're at. Vlogs is talking to a box because they'll only see it tomorrow. Yeah, for me it's very hard for me to do vlogs because I like this. I love this interaction. I love, the live interaction. I don't like editing. I mean, honestly, I don't. I don't. I don't. I don't.
I can
And
see why people do the live streaming, because editing is I've only been doing it for like about a month or so, and there are times I just I feel like my eyes are gonna fall out of my face, or I just want
mhm.
to throw the laptop across the room because it's booting me out or just freezing up on me, and doesn't save
Yeah,
my
I just
work.
it's
Then
like
I gotta start
it's like I
over.
get frustrated, and it's like I have this software package that has all of these cool things to add, and then I start spiraling like, you have to add this, add no, we got to get this done. We got to get this done. But with live streaming, yeah, I like interacting with people. I like showing things that are going on,
Mhm.
in real time. My talent is I'm usually thinking
Oh,
on the
that's
fly.
good.
Sometimes you
Yeah.
guys bring stuff up in the chat that I would not have even, really thought about. It's just so much fun. Theme Parks Assemble says, "Oh man, if I could count how many people video bombed me." Some kid asked me if I was famous and that I'm going to be as big as
Oh
Mr.
gosh.
Can I just tell you, I have run into so many like kids. When I say kids, I mean like little
Kids, man, they have
kids.
no filters. They're funny. Like the things
They
that
have
they
they
say,
have
just
zero
out of the
filter.
mouth.
They see you with the camera. Oh, well, you want TikTok, Instagram, but really YouTube? Cool. What's your channel? What's your channel? And I told one kid, he was with some other ones with my channel name, and he's like, Lorena, I love your channel. It was freaking hilarious. I do. I love to see people having fun, and like I would like do video game streams, and my nephew's like, "Oh, you mean like Preston?" I'm like,
I
"Who
remember you
the
telling
heck
me
is
this.
Preston?" He's like,
Another YouTuber.
yes, yeah,
You just
YouTube
assumed you
game.
know them all. They're all
He
famous.
does yeah, he does Minecraft, and my nephew will just sit there and just watch Preston play Minecraft. He say, "Auntie, you should play Minecraft." I'm like, "No, it's okay. It's okay. I'm not gonna play Minecraft." But it's just too funny. But yeah, uh, with live streaming, and especially when when you're vlogging, and you're out in the parks, whether you're a big live streamer or you're just starting out, people come up to you and they want to let you know how much they appreciate your channel. It doesn't take much to say hello. Let's get back to those common
Mm.
courtesy type of things. Be gracious. Be
Yeah.
gracious, because people do not have to watch you. There's other stuff that they could be
Mhm.
doing with their time, and they could have spent that time doing something else, but they decided to come up and
Yeah.
and talk to you. So it's like, as a vloggers, do we owe people things? I would say we owe people one thing, and that is common courtesy.
Yeah. And that's
That's exactly what
that's
people.
just the golden rule. Treat people how you would want to be treated. It's just that simple. And you don't have to be a vlogger or in social media to just live by that, you know.
Hmm. Absolutely. 100%. 100%. CJ says you should totally play
Yeah. Gosh. Mm.
Yeah, that's probably another reason why I'm probably going to be
Okay.
getting away from like doing a lot of it. I need to get back into gaming proper. I've got games that still have freaking shrink wrap on them, and Kingdom Hearts is a game that's been calling me to like play it. So I kind of, I need to go back. Like I say, I never thought that I would actually be on YouTube doing vlogging at the parks. I used to watch people do stuff like that at the parks, and now that I do, um, I'm grateful. I mean, like I said, you don't have to watch me. You could watch videos about, Karens getting what's coming to them.
Oh,
That's actually a
okay.
funny ass video series. If you're watching
Is
Karens
it?
going
Where
to
is
jail.
that? What? Oh
Oh,
gosh.
just watch Karens get,
Oh, just
Karens get
type it in the
karma.
search?
Yeah, type it in the search on
Oh
YouTube,
gosh.
and
Me and
you'll
my
just see all these videos of just these so-called Karens, or just oh god,
I
hilarious.
wish I had known about that when I was in town. Me and my sister would have loved to have watched that with our coffee every morning.
They are addictive. I saw one, and now YouTube has it like flooded. That and Etsy Etsy videos, because there's a
Etsy video?
possible crafting project I may do, but I'm thinking
Mm.
hard about it because it is very labor intensive, but some I'm thinking about. So yeah, I am opening an Etsy store, but I put that stuff up. So now that's kind of like my Etsy, um, old people fishing, old people fishing, or people going crabbing, and Karen's getting busted on camera. That's pretty, it's like
We
it's being.
should do that for
It's
a
like
live stream.
I have to get up. Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I love
Go.
true crime. I'm watching some of this, and I'm just like, man, I don't know how these people do it, but it's hilarious. But just to say that, to say this, there are so many freaking things to watch on YouTube. So many things to watch on YouTube. The fact that someone watches your stuff, not
Yeah.
only watches your stuff, but wants to let you know how much they like your stuff, it's worth it. It really is worth it, just to have that common courtesy. You know, have that common courtesy first. Doesn't take much. So that is, you know what, I'm going to close out with this last thing here, because I love this video. I love this video so much.
Is it
I
Karen
love
getting her
it.
comeuppance?
I, no, I'll have to find that one.
That'd be
I'll have to
funny.
find that one and show it. That would be a fun video to kick back and watch. But this is one that I love. I love this video. This is out in Disneyland Paris.
I was gonna say,
Let's just
yeah.
say somebody should have checked Minnie's bloomers and wardrobe, because she was just feeling this music. And
Oh no! Oh man!
I love this.
I was just gonna say, I hope their heads don't come off.
I mean, first of all, I'm like, she must have been really into it, and I get it. I get it. She was just like, this is great. I'm loving the energy from the crowd. I'm entertaining people. Let's go. Let's do this. Let's do this. And just a little extra. And it's just like, oh my
She waddled
this is probably one of my, I don't even want to
That's
call it a Disney fail, because it's so funny. It's funny because she's so into it.
With the way she walks off, I'm like, yeah, that's how a girl would walk away.
I can't freaking believe
Story in our family, my great grandmother, and we recycled this. She went to the grocery shopping, and she had actually lost her underwear at the cash register. she shoved her underwear under the register, and she like ran out of the store. And it's like this cycling story. I see that, and I think of my great grandmother, and it just cycles around every year. Oh my god!
I just
I
it was
told my mom, look, it's Fanny, and The spirit of Fanny's and Minnie Mouse. We called her Fanny, great grandmother.
I love it because it's just like they're just trying to entertain everyone, and they're so into it and enjoying what they
I'm so glad someone caught that on video.
Me too. Man, I don't care how bad of a day
Oh,
I'm having.
man.
I watched that video.
Jeez. Golly.
Oh man. Well, we love the fact that you guys are here with us. We're here every Saturday, 12 p.m. Eastern, with cast of friends who can drop in when they get a chance. But Erica, thank you so much for being here with me. Where can people find you, and what do you have coming up?
Well, you can find us at Erica-Raff, like it says there in the screen name thing. And well, we didn't weekend, but I have a new vlog up. The wine went to a German wine fest, and yeah, I'm kind of like behind on videos. We're over here trying to figure out what our next video is going to be. We're hoping a theme park out here.
Oh, okay.
I did put up a review on Beetlejuice, just testing the waters on some different things on the channel. Just throwing spaghetti at the wall on the channel because we're so new to everything. So, but yeah, just taking it as it comes. I do have footage of us at a German grocery store. It's just I apparently overdid it, and I have over an hour worth of footage. So I'm trying to figure out what to do with all that footage. I'm not going to bore
wasn't
people with it.
Aldi, was it?
No, it was Globus.
Okay. Yeah, the reason I asked is because
so
I went to Germany my first trip. I've been there like 3 times. It's my first trip from there, and a friend of mine's driving me around, and we're like driving through, Bavaria, and I'm looking, I'm just like, is that a freaking Aldi? She's like, yeah. I'm like,
I should have done all. That would have been a lot shorter and small. We chose Globus, and it's just going to a super Target or a super Walmart. and I, newbie here, I don't know how much footage to get and call it quits. So I'm literally filming everything. I get home, I start loading the videos to the computer, and I start adding up the time. I'm like, oh my gosh, I've got over 65 minutes worth of all these little shorts. And I'm like, I'm having a hard time breaking it down so I don't overwhelm people, because there are attention spans when it comes to videos. Figure that one out.
Yeah. But CJ's 100% right. You can post anything you want, long as it's consistent, and it'll build an audience. Keep going, Erica. Yes, please do keep going. Her channel, of course, is in the description box. That's why I have her on. She has great content. So we want to help her channel grow. Hey, Teresa, good to see you. Good to see you. Always good to see you, Teresa. I sure do appreciate it. Girl, I need you, because Rings of Power season 2. Oh Lord.
I haven't even seen part 1.
You're not missing a darn thing. Just don't. If you're a normie, you're gonna look at that thing like, I have no idea what the heck this is.
I'm as normie as it gets.
Oh gosh. It's just like, were y'all smoking the bad stuff when you came up? No, that's I like this too. As soon as she noticed this, she got out of face. This bottle, I was like, thank God, I can't believe. Oh, you're back from the cruise. I could be there anytime now. Let's share the pain. All right, my dear. Let's get you on Tuesday, because Lord, I am so pissed about that. And Fire Dragon 57, hello. And I love that avatar. It's so cute. Because I used to watch a couple on YouTube that did live feeds for Disneyland, Knott's, Universal, etc. I really enjoyed them, but they got so popular I could not stand them anymore. Very much big ego. Yeah, it's you have to stay humble in this business. I'm gonna say it right now. You really do. I've seen channels get really big and self-immolate because of ego. Um, Whenever you think that your channel is just the ish, go look in other categories of what's going on YouTube, and you can see exactly what's there. But at the crux of it, there's a ton of stuff to choose from, and the fact that someone would choose your channel to watch should mean something to you. So
Mhm.
gotta stay humble in this business. So as for me, tonight at 8 p.m. Eastern with Retro Nerd Girl, she'll be on my channel. We are going to be watching Psycho, the 1960s Alfred Hitchcock.
Mm-mm.
Psycho.
Fun.
Ah, man. I love that Hitchcock is such a master. And if you look at the very, very popular, innovative horror films, a lot of them can trace, a lot of them will pull things from Hitchcock. So cannot wait to watch Psycho tonight, 8 p.m. Eastern. Make sure you are here for that. As for Sunday, channel members, 3 p.m. Eastern, we are going to be watching the Indian sci-fi movie that just came out in September called Kalki 2898. I'm telling you, Indian cinema is doing sci-fi way better than freaking Lucasfilm. So it's such a cool film. Just think of like Blade Runner, Star Wars, Duck Riders, um, what else am I gonna say? Total Recall, all of that stuff wrapped up in like Indian lore mythology. It's so freaking cool. Absolutely, absolutely gonna love it. So if you happen to miss the live stream, the live watch party, don't worry, it will be archived on StreamYard. It is a webinar, so I will post the link in the community tab just for members over on YouTube. The StreamYard webinar link will be right there. So if you happen to miss it when we do it live, guess what? It's archived and you can watch it on the repeat. Hollywood is doing some crappy stuff, but I'll tell you one thing, a lot of foreign cinema is doing really good, and I love Indian movies, so that's why I'm adding an additional Indian movie per month along with the basic membership. So expose you guys to that particular cinema. It is so much great stuff that's in there. So of course that's going to be Saturday, and of course Saturday 8 p.m. Welcome to Florida.
Yeah.
More craziness. I mean, every week, I swear, every week, CJ's probably like, "What story are you gonna give me next?" With how crazy stuff is. It is. Oh my gosh! It's just nuts. Oh my god! I love the Karen videos. I laugh so hard, and you're right, they are addictive. Yeah,
You're gonna have
we
to live
have
stream on
to.
Karen video. You have to do that.
I
I
freaking
would.
love it.
Oh man, that'd be so.
You will laugh
Oh,
so hard. I mean, I just gotta shake my head. It's just something else. Psycho was the house of its day. Women were afraid to take showers. Apparently, Janet Leigh never took a shower after filming the movie. Yeah,
jeez.
that
Wow. Yeah, I can't do that.
there
Mm-mm. Mm-mm.
there was so much that went
Mm.
that shower scene is like peak cinematography. That is like textbook cinematography. It's taught so much in film schools with how Hitchcock did it, everything from how the camera angles were to the props that he used to just it's freaking awesome. It really is. Like Jaws. Okay, I figured that was it. Yeah. Yeah, I figured that was it. Let's see. Theme parks assemble. About to get ready for Howler Scream at Busch
Ooh,
Gardens tonight. I'll
nice.
catch y'all later. Great stream. Well, thank you. Enjoy Howler Scream. Let me know how you liked it. And John Coleman says, Lorena, what did you think of Beetlejuice? I had a good time.
I did too. It
I
was funny.
I had a good time. I went that Wednesday. That was like a special fan preview night. That theater was 90% full.
Yeah, ours was too.
And we just had I enjoyed it. I laughed. There's some issues that I had with it, but not to the point where it interrupt my enjoyment of
Yeah.
the film. And Camera Girl, who was more skeptical than I was of the second one, she was like, this better not suck.
I was like that
All
too. I'm like, they better not have ruined this because this is an iconic movie. I am one of those cult followers. You better not screw this up.
I loved it. I got her addicted to watching like Beetlejuice, so she knew about it. After she watched that movie, she was clapping. Everyone was clapping in the theater at the end. She absolutely loved it. So she was basically the target demographic. Her and, parents. That's pretty much it. This movie is made for Gen Xers and their Gen Zers and their Gen X parents. That's it in a nutshell. Is what it is. And Catherine O'Hara. I loved her. I loved her so freaking much.
That I can't say it because I don't want to give it away. But she's
you knew what
the
was
only
one
happen. Laughing when that one scene happened. It's just so funny the way.
Oh my gosh, I laughed. I'm like.
I love looking at the dead characters because it's a dead giveaway of how they died, and it's just so like, oh, you swallowed a sword. Oh, too many hot dogs over there.
You knew what was going to happen. The cat lady.
Okay, that one I didn't understand, but that was funny. But she just gets suffocated. I get that how she died with her cat. That was kind of weird.
Oh gosh. Yeah, Mama Saurus Rex, you're absolutely right. This one was just straight up entertaining. I just loved it. And there was a throwback in there. I'm not gonna spoil it because when it happened, I'm just like, is this what I think it was gonna be? And then when I saw what it was and they fully leaned into it, it was great. And they threw shade on Disney too.
That was my favorite. No one in the crowd got that, and I was the only one laughing. And I looked over at my son. I was like, "Did you catch that with the Disney?" And he was like, "Huh?" I'm like, "Okay, clearly you didn't."
I heard that Winona's character changed completely now, afraid of abusing ghosts or something. She was traumatized. Let's just say there's a reason you're not supposed to have a relationship when you're in rehab. Just saying. Rehab, brief recovery. They did that. They addressed that situation right in this movie, unlike in The Crow reboot. Just
to remake the first one for sure.
Oh God, you know what? As soon as that sucker, it's supposed to get released on physical media in October.
Oh, that's soon? And that roll for like a little bit later in the theaters.
I think it's still going to make tons of money. It's
what
probably,
about the first? They do like a bundle where you can get like on 4K or something. I would hands down buy part one and together.
That could be true. They could be doing that, but I'm keeping my eye out for it because I saw something like that. I'm like, already, but it would make sense.
Yeah,
they would make a ton of money. Collectors, a steel book. Actually, I'm about to pre-order it myself. So I have it. But yeah, it was entertaining. I had a great time. I laughed my ass off. There was some stuff that I saw. I knew what was going to happen with Delia. We all knew it. Delia's character is more Delia, if you can imagine that. It's so funny, but just think when you see Delia, that's Sally from The Nightmare Before Christmas. So remember that. Remember that. BR Guy says, hi, Lorena and Erica. I've been on double speed trying to catch up. Enjoyed your conversations. Oh, well, thank you so much. I always have fun having Erica on so we can talk. We may have to do an online shopping stream.
Oh God. You see the amount of money I've done spent in the last. Turn my camera around to see how Halloween's half vomited in my house now. Halloween haul is in the foyer. It's starting to get cluttered.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, I love it. It looks so cute. I'm not quite getting there. I just have the Raven, and I've got a couple of there we go. And I've got a couple of fall garlands, but I'm one of those that'll wait till the last minute because between
here deconstructed in the next few weeks, and my setup is going to be drastically different because all this behind me has to go in the front for Halloween to set up the foyer. Yeah, so y'all probably might see my messy house for a couple of weeks.
I have to redo the back here a little bit because there's about he does this 3 times, so it's kind of hilarious. That'll be awesome. I'll totally buy the DVD. I'm debating going to the theater because of how much money it costs. I always say that I
thought it was worth it.
Yeah. I saw it in RPX. It was.
I'm glad I saw it in the theater, but we hardly ever go to the movies. So, and I know how expensive, at least in the States, I know it's really expensive. Really glad. And for us, it was about getting the family together. But I for y'all having spent the insane amount of money to go to a movie, this one's worth it. It's a great companion to the first, so you want to rewatch it Halloween season. It's got that ability, just like the Addams Family, because both part 1 and 2. And this has the same cohesiveness as like the Addams Family. So they did a really good job. I loved it.
You want to use some fall decor. Yeah, you know what? That's a slippery slope because I was at Michael's and I have like 4 fall garlands and stuff is gonna go in that. I usually wait a little later to get Halloween stuff because you don't understand. This is stuff that I want, like a big, huge spider web that's like lights up. And then I was in Target yesterday, and now they've got like this big. Last year it was Jack with the big, huge pumpkin. So now they have the skeleton. I put the short on my channel, and I'm looking, and I'm just like, I don't see a price tag, which really concerns me. So I need to leave.
Too expensive.
Yeah, if you have to ask, it's too expensive. I'm looking. I'm just like, I want it. I want it. It's so. I'm like, it's so freaking cool. Let me see if I can bring it up here because I saw it and I had to have it.
I wish they would come out with a pumpkin king animatronic, so I don't have to actually build one. I just don't have the time, much less the know-how, to build something that tall, because Jack, when he was in that costume in the movie, it was really tall and very, very like that. And I want something like that in the front yard so bad, but geez,
it is. I tell you, it's addictive, but I usually wait to get closer to like because I'm kind of cheap with the Halloween stuff, so I kind of wait until the last minute. But this was at Target, and I'm like,
choose what you shall receive. Tricks or
this is Bruce the Skeleton.
I hope it's a trick. I just ate the last treat.
I like this. It's got like a cartoony.
Yeah.
It reminds me of the Beetlejuice cartoons, actually. The face and the way the mouth. I love how it
It's-
glows. Oh, you could really do some lighting on that, make it look even creepier.
and it's got like a couple of different phrases, and I didn't go through every one of them. I took one to take video and then walked out because I'm like, I may wind up taking this sucker home with me. So I like stepped back. I said, okay, I'm just gonna take pictures. So yes, this is Bruce. There's also Jack. I have to put his short up there, but yeah, I'm kind of scared about how much that possibly costs.
Yeah,
So
inflation.
yeah.
The prices have gone up on a lot of this stuff. I got Jack years ago for $164. Sally the following for $199. This year, I got Emily and Victor from Corpse Bride, and one was $279, the other one was $269. And the only way I could get them was if I purchased on the release date because I knew it was going to be a hot ticket item.
Mm-hmm.
And like an idiot, the 20% off coupon for Halloween used on any item, and I completely forgot about it. I'm like, oh my gosh. I was like, ah.
Oh my gosh, that
I
is.
I was so salty at myself for that. Oh gosh. But every time I look at them, I'm like, okay, well, at least I have you. Like, you're overseas and you just got to take classes with the winds,
I hear you. I hear you. Oh, and we're tired of it by the time we close it down. Yeah, this is it's so cool. Go November 1st and see if it's on sale. Yeah, I'm gonna circle. I'm a vulture. I'll circle for that stuff. I mean, but yeah, it's
Yeah, I can't. I wish if I were in the States, I could. But over here, I have to shop way in advance because I have to
Mhm.
configure time for shipping and then the availability of the item. Because a lot of the items I tend to go for tend to be those seasonal hot ticket items. And at least this year it was. I've been wanting
Mhm.
Corpse Bride animatronics for years. I even Googled it to see if I could build something and way beyond my
Mhm.
skill level. So I said, nope, that's not happening. I'm not an engineer. Finally, this year, 2024, they came out with them. And
Mhm.
I was like, okay, that's happening.
Well, another great place. I'll close with this. Another great place to find Disney Halloween decor. Marshalls, TJ Maxx, um,
I know. They got
Walmart.
stuff.
Target not so much, but usually those three places, because I've noticed. I was in Marshalls yesterday and I'm like, where'd all this Disney decor come from? Where'd they come from? $180.
What was 180? The Bruce thing?
Yeah, the Bruce skeleton
Oh, okay. That's
animatronic.
actually not a bad price for an animatronic. 180. Better than what I
$180.
paid for these guys. Then
Yeah,
again, you're gonna pay for the brand,
yeah. Now I'm thinking, I'm like,
You got that thing. I had that same look earlier because
It's
I
like,
saw this bride animatronic at the BX, and I was literally doing
Mhm.
this. I went behind it to try to unzip the bag to see the mechanics. I took air, flipped it back to look at the facial structure just to see if there was anything I could tweak to work for my
Mhm.
display.
Yeah.
Nothing. I was like, no, I can't do anything with this. So I walked away.
Lewis and Friends. Yep, I got. I got a video of Lewis. I'm looking. I'm just like, man, I need to sell some old school pins to shore up my fund. Because those are really freaking cool. I mean, you go in and you see stuff, and it's just like, oh, that's some next level right there. I'm,
Welcome to my world.
I'm trying to stay away, but it's just like
Aw.
I can't.
I'm not typical Hispanic where I got expensive taste, always on Walmart budget, and it just doesn't matter. The expensive stuff just gravitates to me. Meanwhile, my younger sister stuff and the sales and the clothes just gravitate to her. I'm like, no, not me. She finds all these bargains all the time without even trying. Meanwhile, over here, I'm like, yeah, no, I don't have that kind of luck.
Yeah, I hear you. It's just like, oh, why do I have such freaking expensive like taste and stuff? Yeah, expensive animatronics, the the inflatables. I just yeah.
Inflatable too big for my yard. It would overpower my display. And if I had a really like
Hmm.
like massive yard, I think it can be cute, but I don't know. I'm really about inflatables because they're so big and just you know.
I know. They're freaking huge, but they're so cute. They're so cool.
I had a Garfield one at the BX today with the jack-o'-lantern. I was like, oh, I love Garfield. That takes me back to my I'm like, but I'm doing like these other themes. Can you imagine Garfield in the middle of Nightmare Before Christmas, Haunted Mansion, and now Corpse Bride?
It would just be eclectic. That's all. That's all. Oh, well, folks, thank you guys so much for hanging out with us. I want to thank Erica for being here. I want to thank Ron for popping in. Thanks to all of you watching. Make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you're subscribed to Erica's channel. And we, of course, will see you all next time. Bye.